Welcome to the new version of Let's Talk About Real Estate podcast, the podcast for real estate agents everywhere. I'm Lisa B, and together with Bjorn we're going to talk about everything real estate. We talk about what's working, what's not working, what's new, what's old, technology, and anything else to do with real estate. We'll answer your questions from the Facebook group Let's Talk About Real Estate. So if you have a question, we can help. Join the Facebook group today. And again, welcome to the show. Hey, Bjorn, we're back again. It's been a little while since we had our last podcast, hasn't it?
Lisa, it's been too long, but it's good to be back, and I've missed you.
I missed you too. Okay, today we're going to talk about the importance of remaining positive in real estate because people are just so stressed out, and we need to lighten things up a bit, don't we?
I think we do, Lisa. Everybody knows what's going on in the world and everything that's been happening over the last couple of years. And then there's now new events taking place. So there's a lot of negativity just in general, just in the public.
In the news.
A lot of talk is negative. A lot of draining, emotionally tiring, testing time.
Fear everywhere.
Fear. Everywhere's fear. So when you're transacting real estate as an agent, one of my little golden tips is I just take all that fear and I just throw it out the window, and I try to be fun. I try to be engaging. I try to be positive. I try to make the client smile, whether they're buying a property, selling a property, investing in property, developing in property, whatever it might be. I try to keep the entire communication positive. I try to keep things on an upward spiral, not a downward spiral.
Yeah.
I think it's critical because a lot of people just feel so weighed down with baggage and they're emotionally drained.
Yeah.
So the last thing we need to do when they're doing the biggest decision of their lives in buying or selling real estate or building or developing or taking a chance is to add more uncertainty and more negativity on top of the baggage they're already carrying.
Exactly.
So I think it's a critical lesson for people to know.
Yeah. I mean, some of my friends at the moment, one of them, their wife's sick, another one, I've got quite a few with COVID. People are worried about their jobs and, so we've got to be mindful of what people are going through in their lives, especially people that have to sell and things like that. Their situation. And they say every real estate agent should buy and sell every couple of years so we know what the vendors go through. And, even now it's even more challenging, with the threat of interest rates going up and, all of this sort of thing. We've really got to be mindful of how people are feeling. We don't know their backstory. We don't know what's happening. And a lot of the time they won't share those things with us. So we've got to be mindful and just, like you said, try and keep things happy and positive and moving forward. And, whether that's in our communication by the advertisements we do with our real estate ads, whether that's the way we treat people, we've got to treat people like gold, whether they're buyers, whether they're sellers, whether they're tenants. We've got to treat people with respect and understand where they're coming from. Yeah,
exactly. And I'll give you a story. Years and years and years ago, my friend and I went looking for a car, and he wanted to buy one of these Peter Brock specials. Right?
Oh, yeah. They're worth a lot of money now. Yeah.
At the time, they were about between 10 to 15 grand. The guy just received a payout, and he had a pocket full of cash, 20 grand cash sitting in his pocket. And we went around to car yards, and there was about 5 car yards that had these Peter Brock specials in the yards. And we got ignored at every single car yard, pretty much, except for one. And by ignored, I don't mean they just left us go. They chicken hawked us, looking at us like they wanted us out of the car yard because, we looked like a couple of 18-year-olds, which we were. Yeah. A couple of hooligans looking to buy a vehicle, and they thought these guys don't have any money. These guys are here to break in or do something negative. So they looked at us in a negative light. There was one guy which had the car, which was probably the 3rd car on the list that we wanted, but he treated my mate and I like normal people. And guess who got the sale? That guy on the 3rd favorite vehicle, not the favorite vehicle, because my mate didn't want to go back and deal with the other asshole. Yeah. So he went and chose to buy this vehicle, which was slightly cheaper and need a little bit of work, because of the fact that the guy treated him normally. Now, there's a lesson in that.
And you remember that all these years later too.
I remember that. And there was an ad that I saw once, and it's got a litter of, it's got a Rottweiler, mum and dad Rottweiler, and there's all the little puppies. And there's a little tiger pup in amongst the Rottweiler pups. And it says, here at such and such bank, we treat everyone with the same positive light. And then the screen goes black, and then the screen comes back out, and now everyone's grown up. And now the Rottweilers are tiny and the tiger is massive compared to the Rottweilers. And it just says, we never know who you might become. Now,
oh, wow, isn't that a great ad?
Brilliant ad, but the message behind the ad, I mean, I don't agree with that. We never know who you might become. So we're only treating you as you become someone else.
Yeah, true. But they yeah. It's still a good ad. Yeah.
The message is treat everybody with the same respect, treat everybody with the same appreciation, treat everybody in the same light. So the message that because I try to keep very, very positive with all of my vendors and all of my buyers, and I try to laugh and joke around, and there's not one where we're not laughing. All right. Yes. At all of my listing presentations, if I don't get them laughing at some point in time, I'm not happy with my presentation.
But you could be a comedian too, though. Like you could do freelance comedy as well. Some of the things that you do. Yeah.
Some people say just looking at me is funny enough, but there you go. but yeah, I've always taken a light approach to life. And people say, "What's your secret, Bjorn? Like you know, you don't prospect, you don't make a million phone calls, but all this business comes to you." You just want to become a person that people feel comfortable with, an attraction agent, by basically just being genuine and keeping things positive, whether it's your ads, whether it's your personal life, whether it's what you're posting on Facebook, whether it's your social medias, on your YouTube videos, whatever it might be. Forget about Russia, forget about COVID, forget about all these things you can't control. Start focusing on the things that you can. And what you can do today is make somebody smile, show that you care about somebody else genuinely, and show that you have a vested interest in them and their life. And I guarantee you, it'll go a hell of a long way compared to scripts and dialogues and flashy marketing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the message today, Lisa. Keep positive, make people's lives better, and spread the love, not the hate.
Agree. Okay, now next podcast, we're going to do building teams. So yeah, we'll lock that in. All righty. Okay, thanks, Bjorn.
Thanks, Lisa. Bye for now.
Bye. Thank you for listening to Let's Talk About Real Estate podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you have a question about real estate, then please join the group on Facebook, also called Let's Talk About Real Estate. For those of you who are interested in EXP, please join us at 10 a.m. Brisbane time every Wednesday morning for EXP Explained. Thank you again for joining us, and don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, and see you next week.